Hello friends, this is Sharmi with the Amateur Gardener. Uh, we are trying to get some spring or late winter cleaning work done today. So I'll be pruning some roses. Hopefully that'll be a little separate video. I also wanted to show you my tools that I use typically. These are some of the tools that I typically use. And then I use propyl alcohol to sterilize in between prunings of rose bushes. This one is a Felco 2, a Felco 6, and then I have a few other handy dandy tools that I use for pruning small shrubs. I do use gloves, and as you can see, I have long sleeves today because roses can be nasty. Let me give you a little look around my patio. Right now, it is full of all my tropicals that were inside my greenhouse. Right now, since this week the weather is going to be pretty mild, I'm giving them a breather outside. This one is a mango tree. It's Alfonso. It's an Indian variety. I planted it, I think, about a year and a half ago. Um, it's doing quite well. And then this one is a Meyer lemon, which is all budded up. This one has been planted, like I think, about 3 years ago, roughly. I still keep it in a pot. I'm kind of traumatized from my big Meyer lemon that was like almost 9, 10 years old, and a big navel orange that also similarly about 9 to 10 years old that died in the 2021 freeze. I used to literally haul oranges by the cart in a wheelbarrow from it, and it died, and I'm traumatized. So right now I'm keeping all my most actually except for one of my citruses in pots. I have a little bed here, have some romaine lettuce growing here, and then this one is one of my faves. This is a Rangoon creeper. It's starting to leaf out. I took it inside my greenhouse, went dormant. Now it's starting to leaf out. I do have another what we call a neem tree. This one actually has been there for quite a while, starting to leaf out again. Um, Here, this one, if you can see the stem, it's like about two of my thumbs together, maybe three. I planted it from a seedling from maybe 6 years ago. I do have a curry leaf plant. It's about like 3 feet tall. This one is a kaffir lime. I love the leaves. We sometimes use it in soup or in cookings. The leaves actually smell really good, and we can use it in cooking. And then I have a guava, which is alive, not doing great, but I think it'll be fine because it's all budded up here. I can see if you can, yeah, it's all budded up. It'll do okay. Coming on to here, I do have an orange jasmine that I planted this year. Still is in its nursery pot. I have to pot it up. I haven't done it yet. I will. And then there are some like usual jasmines, and then this one is one of the what we call I think jasmine Arabian Duke or something jasmine. Okay, these are my winter pots. They look pretty fabulous. Nothing actually bothers them. Then I have three of them here. They have some dianthus, a kale, and some violas. Again, this one is on the other side of the pergola. Planted three of them, then plant this small one. Okay, this is my Peggy Martin rose. I have two of them. They are full of flowers. I just trimmed them up a little bit and kind of tried to get them under control. They were unruly and getting completely out of control. They still look maybe a little bit to you, but out of control, but they'll be full of flowers. It'll be just pink all over. And then I have another exit out of this pergola area. This is the second uh, Peggy Martin. Okay, this is my pool area. I have 6 palm trees planted at the back. They have been doing pretty well. They survived all the freezes in the last 3 to 4 years. Um, that one in the corner next to the Peggy Martin is a windmill palm. It is one of the most cold hardy palms. The next one is a European, I think it's European Mediterranean palm. And this one is the Pindo palm. It produces fruits. Supposedly we could make jam or jelly from it. I haven't tried it, but it does produce fruit. It did produce quite a bit of fruit last year, but I let the birds have it. And then the same thing is repeated on the other side of the waterfall. So you have another Pindo, another Mediterranean fan palm, and that is actually not doing as good as the other one. Hopefully it'll revive, has a lot of new growth bottom. And then this is the other windmill palm. I did underplant it with a lot of foxtail ferns. They look awesome. I just cut it back, but they will be beautiful at the bottom. And then this is a lot of Brigadoon St. John's wort. I planted like 10 of them. They are nicely spreading. You can see, like here, you can see they are starting to spread now, which is awesome. And they retain this color they retained it all winter, so it's beautiful. I planted it, I think, in like September or October, something like that. I do have alliums planted in interplanted in between these St. John's wort, so we'll see how that leaf up. I haven't seen them come up yet, so we're waiting for it anxiously. Okay, and then if I turn around, this area doesn't look like much here, but this is what I call my hydrangea alley. There's a whole bunch of hydrangea macrophyllus. They have been there for the last, I would say, 5 years now. It was 4 years, I think, last year. I planted them before the 2021 freeze for sure. So right now they look like a bunch of sticks. Over here they start leafing out and flowering early. So which is why after like the freeze we had 2 weeks ago, I had to cover it because otherwise I lose all the buds, all the spring buds. I do have a Mahonia back there. Yeah, I think it's a soft grass one. And then I have some what we call leopard plant. I have two different varieties. One is I think it's crispata. That's the one with the crinkly leaves. And then I also have one which is, I forgot what it's called. I'll put the name on, but it's now not looking hot. It did suffer a setback from the freeze, but it'll come back. And then I do have some Fatsia here, Fatsia japonica. I think I have one here and then another one here. I have some fern as well. I think that's August fern. I'll have to look it up, research the name. Now, I do have some philodendron here. They always die back in winter and they become like a mushy mess, which is what it is. I'm just leaving the dead leaves there a little bit for insulation. I'll cut it back maybe end of February. Right now it doesn't look like anything, but they look awesome throughout the years, which is why I keep them. The hydrangeas that are here, they're mostly either endless summer ones, and there are some proven winners one as well. I think there's Citylline Paris, there's Citylline Mars. There are a few of them, and I have the names written down in my plant database. And then I have a whole bunch of azaleas here, and they look awesome in spring. They flower actually sporadically throughout the spring, and then they flower again in the fall and late winter. As you can see, there are some buds already there. This one is the pinkish color, and then this one I think is white. There's another one here, and then there's another one here. I do have hibiscus planted here, which I cut back. These are my very faithful hibiscus. They always come back. I think that one is a spinderella, and this one is my oldest hibiscus. It's huge. It'll always come flush out from the bottom. I leave about like 1.5 feet and then cut it back. As you can see, it's huge. And then I do have japonica, Camellia japonica at the back. That one is a Southern Living one, I think. I'll put the name down below. Just started flowering. Okay. And then I have some pansies that I planted in the fall, which are still doing great, and some irises that have come up. Okay. And this area again has that philodendron that looks like nothing now, but I can promise you that is going to come back very nice. It's a nice filler. I love it. Over here, I do have a ginger planted. I cut it back, but it's going to come back nice and good. It's a Hawaiian ginger. I think it's called the Kahili ginger. I'll show the photo on the screen. And it looks really awesome when it flowers. But then it's one way, it's size controlled by all the other plantings around it, so it doesn't get out of hand, but otherwise it can get really unruly and take over the space. Okay, I do have some crinum lilies here too that are not visible, but they will come up as the weather warms up a little more. That's it. This is the view of the pool. We have a little hedge here and I have a hedge behind the pergola as well. It's made of the sunshine lagastrum, I believe, and that's also, I believe, a Southern Living plant. And it does awesome. My husband just trimmed it back a little bit, but it looks good. The grass looks messy, so I'm not going towards it now. So this is the area around the house. There's another area on the other side. I have a little bit of like here and there knickknacks, garden art. This is another azalea that does awesome. And then we have some frost-proof gardenia that flowers very well and smells awesome. I did plant some queen tut here from Proven Winners that we cut back, waiting to see if it comes back. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I have a lot of Rebecca, a lot of daylilies here that don't look like anything. Some penstemon at the back that I think, I'm sure they're going to come back nice and well. There's a dark purple crepe myrtle that is leafless now, but it's going to come back. And then if I just turn around the corner, we have another hydrangea there that is just sticks. A little bird of paradise which I covered, but hopefully the base survived. And then the other one that looks like sticks now is I think it's a strawberry Sunday hydrangea. I planted it like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And then this is I think it's one of the Itias from Proven Winners. I'll put the name here. There's some sedum planted in between. I think this is the the August some variety. I'm going to show it on the screen. And then there's a lot of I think it is there's a whole bunch of toad lilies in the back that I cut back, and they are coming back as well. They flower in like September, October, November, and then they get a freeze and they die. I'm not going to go through this other area now, just giving you a glimpse of it. This is my most favorite area. I have a lot of experimental things planted here. You can see some of the hollyhocks there. They do really well. This is the view from this bed to the back of the pergola towards the pool. I do have some experimental peonies planted here, and this area gets a lot of shade. It does get sun. I won't say it's a lot of shade. This area does have like afternoon, maybe late afternoon sun a little bit, but it gets shade from the house, it gets shade from the pergola. Mostly gets sun when the sun is overhead. So we'll see how it looks later on. I do have a lot of calla lilies planted everywhere in between these two beds, this bed and the bed on the other side of the pergola, other side of the house. So they should all come up. And then here is a little 6 by 10 greenhouse that we built. This is the side view of the greenhouse. And then let me take you inside. Here, this is the door. And the greenhouse right now just has my seedlings. Let me give you a look of what it looks like now. It's just storage, but here are my seedlings. So these are all my geraniums that the seeds I got them from Swallowtail Seeds, and a whole bunch of lupins. These are my veggies. I did plant some lisianthus. I do have some lisianthus in the ground, and they come back. They have come back 2 years in a row, so I'm hoping they'll come back, but they're really slow to grow. I hope you all liked something about this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.